Wednesday surprise. And in this story, we get to practice using one of our reading powers. That's questioning, asking questions while we read to help us better understand what's going on in the story, really get our brains thinking. So we have up here in a circle map some of our question words. A lot of us think about the who, what, where, when, why, the 5 W's, and H, how question words. Those are very common, but there are some more too. There's words like are. Are you going to the movie tonight? That's a question. We see a few more up here. Were, can, does, should, could, would, did, and do. And we'll use some of those different question words to help us ask questions, wonder about what's going on in the story, see if we can figure out what's going on. There's a little bit of a mystery. That's why it's called the Wednesday Surprise by Eve Bunting. I like surprises, but the one Grandma and I are planning for Dad's birthday is the best surprise of all. We work on it Wednesday nights. On Wednesdays, Mom has to stay late at the office, and my brother Sam goes to basketball practice at the Y. That's when Grandma rides the bus across town to stay with me. So right away, when we see it's called the Wednesday Surprise, and hearing that they're working at it on Wednesdays, there's some sort of surprise, we get our question, what is the surprise? What are they planning? What are they working on? I watch for her from the window, and I blow on the glass and make breath pictures while I wait. When I see her, I call, Sam, she's here. And he says it's okay to run down the long stairs and wait by the door. Grandma, I call. Anna, she's hurrying, her big cloth bag bumping against her legs. We meet and hug. She tells me how much I've grown since last week, and I tell her how much she's grown too, which is our joke. Between us, we carry her lumpy bag upstairs. Ooh, are we getting a little hint to the surprise there? I have another question. Why is that bag so lumpy? What could be inside? I show Grandma my breath picture, if it's still there. Mostly, she knows what it is. Mostly, she's the only one who does. Oh, I'm asking another question there. Do they have a special relationship? If she makes these breath pictures and others don't really know what they are, but Grandma does, do they have some special relationship between them? On Wednesday nights, we have hot dogs. Have you heard from your dad? Grandma asks Sam. He'll be back Saturday, same as always, Sam says, in time for his birthday. Same as always. That makes me ask another question. What does Dad do that he's always gone until Saturday? His birthday? Grandma raises her eyebrows as if she's forgotten all about that. Grandma is some actress. Another question. Why? Why would she be acting like she doesn't know when somebody's birthday is? Could the surprise be related to the birthday? When Sam goes, she and I do the dishes. Then we get down to business. I sit beside her on the couch, and she takes the first picture book from the bag. We read the story together out loud, and when we finish one book, we start a second. Oh, there we get our first answer to one of our questions. We were wondering what was inside that lumpy bag. Now we know it's books. So how could books be related to a surprise? We kind of get one answer, but kind of leads us to another question of how are those books related to a surprise? We read for an hour, get some ice cream, then read some more. Grandma gives me another hug. Only 7 years old and smart as paint already. I'm pleased. They're all going to be surprised on Saturday, I say. When Sam comes home, we play card games, and when Mom comes, she plays too. You'll be here for the birthday dinner? Mom asks as Grandma is getting ready to leave. Oh, yes, the birthday, Grandma says vaguely, as if she's forgotten again. as if we hadn't been working on our special surprise for weeks and weeks. Grandma is tricky. Why is she being so tricky? What's so special about this surprise that it needs to be a little kind of tricky and almost acting like you don't even remember a birthday? What is so special about it? I'll be here, she says. Sam walks Grandma to the bus stop. As they're going down the stairs, I hear him say, "What have you got in this bag, Grandma? Bricks?" That makes me smile. Dad comes home Saturday morning, and we rush to him with our happy birthdays. He has brought Sam a basketball magazine, and me a pebble, smooth and speckled as an egg, for my rock collection. Well, that makes me ask another question about Dad. Does he always bring something special when he comes back, or is this kind of a little extra treat, almost like his birthday present to them, even though it's his birthday? I found it in the desert, close to the truck stop, he says. It was half covered with sand. Ooh, there we get an answer to our other question. Why is Dad away until Saturday? If he's at a truck stop, we can make an inference. Figure out that it's probably true that he drives a semi-truck. And that's why he's gone. He's driving across the country during the week and then comes back on the weekends to be home with his family. I hold it, imagining I can still feel the desert sun hot inside it. How long did it lie there? What kind of rock is it? Dad has stopped to pick wildflowers for Mom. They're wilting, and she runs to put them in water. Then Dad has to go to bed because he has been driving his big truck all through the night. Oh, now we know for sure our answer. He's been driving that big truck. We have the truck stop clue. It is him driving a semi. And we can also do some inferring. He's bringing all these things back. He must really miss his family and care about them. Miss them when he's away. While Dad sleeps, Sam and I hang red and blue streamers in the living room. We help Mom frost the cake. We've made Dad's favorite dinner, pot roast, and our gifts are wrapped and ready. I watch for Grandma and help carry the bag upstairs. Wow, Sam should feel how heavy it is now. So, are there more books in it than before? If it's even heavier than before? Or is there something new in it? Seems like it's probably still the books, but we don't know for sure. Let's keep reading. Grandma has brought a ton of books. This time they answered it right away. We hide the bag behind the couch. I am sick from being nervous. Grandma usually has seconds, but tonight she doesn't. Now, the little girl just said she's sick from being nervous. And now it says that Grandma usually has seconds, but she doesn't tonight. So I'm wondering that's another question word we could add here. Is Grandma feeling nervous too? Grandma usually has seconds, but tonight she doesn't. I don't either. I can tell Mom is worried about the pot roast, but Grandma tells her it is very good. So it's not that they're not eating because the food is bad. They must both be feeling nervous. So why are they so nervous? What about this surprise would be making them feel nervous? Are you feeling well, Mama? Dad asks Grandma. How are your knees? Fine, fine. The knees are fine. Dad blows out the birthday candles, and we give him his gifts. Then Grandma shoots a glance in my direction, and I go for the big bag and drag it across to the table. I settle it on the floor between us. Another present? Dad asks. It's a special surprise for your birthday, Dad, from Grandma and me. So now we do know for sure that the books are related to the surprise somehow. But we still don't really know how. They were picture books. So I don't think they're a present just for Dad to have. What could be going on here? Could this girl maybe have been learning to read and that's a nice surprise? Or maybe they picked out a favorite book to want to perform for him? I'm still kind of wondering. I have those questions. Let's see if we get answers to those. My heart's beating awfully fast as I unzip the bag and give the first book to Grandma. It's called Popcorn. I squeeze Grandma's hand and she stands and begins to read. question. Why is Grandma the one reading? If we thought it was the little girl who was making a surprise for Dad, something special to perform or show him what she can read. And why is the little girl squeezing her hand? Usually that's something you do if you know somebody's feeling nervous. You want to help them feel better. So why is Grandma reading and why is she nervous about it? Mom and Dad and Sam are all astonished. Like super surprised and impressed. Why would they all be surprised and impressed? If Grandma's reading, well, I'm wondering, has maybe Grandma never read before? Is it maybe Grandma who was learning how to read? Dad jumps up and says, "What's this?" But Mom shushes him and pulls him back down. Grandma has the floor. She finishes popcorn, which takes quite a while, gives the book back to me, and beams all over her face. Smiles so big and proud. My goodness! Mom is beaming too. When did this wonderful thing happen? When did you learn to read? So it is Grandma learning to read is the nice surprise. Grandma wasn't lucky enough to learn when she was a child, so the little girl, Anna, has been helping her learn. Anna taught me, Grandma says. On Wednesday nights, I add. And she took the books home and practiced. You were always telling me to go to classes, Grandma says to Dad. She looks at Mom. You must learn to read, you say. So, I come to Anna. I giggle because I'm so excited. Grandma reads and acts out the Easter pig and the Velveteen Rabbit. It's much smarter if you learn when you're young, she tells Sam sternly. The chance may pass along with the years. Ask another question. Why didn't Grandma learn when she was young? Why is she giving that advice to Sam now? Sam looks hurt. But I can read, Grandma. Nevertheless, she takes out another book. Are you going to read everything in that bag, Mama? Dad asks her. He's grinning, but his eyes are brimming over with tears, and he and Mom are holding hands across the table. So now I'm wondering, how are they feeling? If I see those clues that their eyes are brimming over with tears and they're holding hands, they must have a lot of emotion going on. Here I would do some inferring. I'm thinking they're feeling so proud of her and impressed that she was able to do that, kind of overwhelmed that she kept this a surprise until she showed it to them. Maybe I will read everything in the world now that I've started, Grandma says in a stuck-up way. I've got time. She winks at me. So, Anna, what do you think? Was it a good surprise? I run to her and she puts her cheek against mine. The best ever, I say. And how do you think they are feeling? They're also feeling incredibly proud of themselves. Now, you might have noticed as we were reading, we didn't get an answer to every single question. We didn't find out, does Dad always bring them gifts? We didn't find out for sure why Grandma didn't learn to read when she was a child. But we did find the answer to a lot of our questions. And we can kind of think through, do some analyzing in our brains of what do we think is probably true. Probably Dad brings them special gifts when he sees something he thinks they might like. But if he's gone every single week, maybe not a gift every single time. Or Grandma might not have learned to read because she didn't get to go to school. We don't always know the answer to every question, but the ones we are able to answer along the way help us understand our story better. We really got thinking about that surprise and what it was. Now, I think Grandma has a little lesson for us too in this story. When you think about what Grandma's trying to tell us here, think about, now, I'm not saying you have to read every single minute of every single day, but you should read at least a little bit every day because we're lucky enough to know how or be learning how to read more. So keep up that reading, keep growing as a reader so that you can feel as proud of yourself as Anna and Grandma do of themselves. I hope you enjoyed our story, The Wednesday Surprise.